Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, let me give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Bahar Kwakwadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone of One West, who pioneered this truth, and also for the one who gave the life for this truth to then Yahushai shall rise first. Shalom to the Bayath Dawadah, which is the house of David, the 144,000, the elect, the 1/3 of Israel. Shalom to the Akim out there pushing his word without truth, sincerity, and diligence, teaching the lost sheep of the house of Israel, or the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the confusion of faces that have been scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, it's the brother Kazar Riyah for the Men of Al 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another video. Alright, basically, just watching the times, man. Alright, being a watchman. It's one of our duties as well to, report the things that are going on in the world. Alright, so basically, man, I came across an article, and it's titled, U.S. won't pull out troops from Syria until goals are accomplished. Alright, this was said by Nikki Haley, another, high-level witch, basically UN witch. But basically, man, this just goes to show that, World War III is already made manifest, man. Alright, because the U.S., we all know that U.S. got troops in Syria, but now they're saying they're not going to pull them back until goals are accomplished, right? And another reason why people aren't really happy with Esau's government, alright, why people aren't really happy with Esau's rulership is they're not direct with their people. They're not honest with their people. They don't tell you what goals they have. Alright, they don't tell you what goals. They could just, they probably don't even have any goals. They're just to fuck with people, They have no goals in general. Alright, because Esau, what he really wants is, world dominion. Alright, so it's always going to be a perpetual war with Esau. And he's always just going to be, demonizing people, making people out to be the boogeyman, while he makes himself out to be the hero in all these situations, man. All right, that's how he did it with the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so U.S. will not pull its troops out of Syria until its goals are accomplished there. All right, going on with the article, it says that U.S. currently has over 2,000 troops in Syria and a number of contractors, meaning mercenaries. All right, and also the little rebel factions that they be funding as well. All right, the little Kurds or whatnot. I don't know what they're called, but basically, they got their USB, the CIA be, the CIA funding those little different rebel groups out there in the Middle East, man. That's how the Taliban, that's how the Al Qaeda came into power, right? Because the U.S. funded them to go against Russia, man. And Russia knows this, man. That's why Russia ain't too happy with the U.S. being in the Middle East, period, and let alone Syria, man. Because one of the things that the U.S. wants, one of the goals of the United States, is to get Assad out of power in Syria. They want to establish their own puppet regime in Syria. All right, and that's why you got ISIS. That's why you got these little rebel groups that the U.S. is funding. All right, also Israel as well. That also Israel is funding to be out there, man. To cause havoc, to try to get Assad overthrown. All right, that's actually the main reason why. They set up ISIS in the first place, man. And Russia knows what's up, man. Russia knows that the U.S. is behind all these terrorist groups, man. All these little rebel groups, man. That's why the Russians, when they went there, when they intervened, they did more work in 3 days than the U.S. did in 3 months, or the whole time that the U.S. was there. Right? They did more work in 1 month than the U.S. did in the whole fucking year. All right, which goes on to expose the U.S., for the devils that they are, man. Deceivers, man. All right, they expose the U.S. for the deceivers that they are. How is it that the Russians put in more work in 1 month than the U.S. did in 1 year? All right, and yet the U.S. is trying to stand against the ISIS people. It just goes to show you, man. The U.S. isn't against ISIS; it's for ISIS. All right, but mainly though, it's against the Assad regime, which is what the U.S. is trying to get rid of, man. All right. While it is America's goals to see troops come home, we are not going to leave until we know we have accomplished those things. All right, what are those things? To get Assad out of power, which is ultimately going to start a World War III. You know what I'm saying? Because, Trump is out here blaming Assad for those chemical attacks, man. They're basically, putting out those false flags, which, the chemical attack was a false flag, man. All right, people went in and exposed that, man. It was no chemical attack over there, man. All right, people were straight up tripping, man. Straight up deceivery, man. Straight up deception, man. Coming from the U.S. All right, to try to get Assad out of power. That's who Trump blamed it on, man. All right, which, even if the chemical attack was real, all right, how do they know for sure that it was Assad's regime, man? They didn't put any proof out. They're just pointing the finger, man. I'm not trying to protect these fucking Ishmaelites anyways, you know what I'm saying? But, just going into the deception of Esau's kingdom, man. Esau's government. Because they're so hell-bent on trying to take Assad out of power, but Assad's backed by Russia, man. And the Russians ain't gonna let that happen, man. The Russians ain't gonna let that shit slide. You got President Trump over here, Donald Eagle-faced Trump. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, demonize Assad. And then and at the same time, he's demonizing Iran and Russia for backing up Assad. For just backing him up. That he's going to great lengths to demonize everybody, man. He set up a nice little false flag in Syria, that chemical attack, and he used that as an excuse to go and bomb the Syrians, man. All right, which all this is leading up to World War III. All right, Haley added that the U.S. wants to ensure that chemical weapons are not used in a way that is of risk to U.S. interests. Islamic State, formerly ISIS, is defeated, and that Iran's actions are monitored. All right, which, we know that's all bullshit, man. All right, first of all, there was no chemical weapons or any chemical attacks out there in Syria, man. That's been exposed already. People went and exposed that. So basically what they're doing here is the same thing they did with the Iraqi government, the way they targeted Saddam Hussein, and they made a false flag happen out there. All right, saying that he used chemical weapons against his own people, which wouldn't even make sense, because why the fuck would you poison your own people with chemical weapons, man? That's just the U.S. Trying to push their deception out on the airwaves, man. All right, are not used in a way that is a risk to U.S. interests, man. And what is the U.S. interest, man? Their U.S. interests is to take over all the resources out there in Syria, man, in the Middle East. Islamic State, ISIS is defeated. All right, which that's another that's another lie too, because the U.S. is setting up ISIS, man. The U.S. is funding ISIS. All right, the third one, Iran's actions are monitored. All right, first of all, you can't monitor the actions of another sovereign country, man. All right, which Esau, Esau, I'll put it to you like this, man. Esau, he just wants to control everything, man. He wants to rule the world, man. But he's not going to rule the world, man. All right, he doesn't even rule his own people, man. He can't even keep drugs out of his own prison system, let alone he wants to, monitor the actions of another fucking country, man. It goes to show how prideful this devil is, man. All right, but the real people who are going to rule the world are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The Israelites, all right, the elect of them, anyways, the chosen of the chosen, man. All right, the 144,000. We're going to be the ones, Lord willing, I'm of that number. We're going to be the ones ruling the world, man. All these nations will be under our subjection, man. The Chinese, the fucking Iranians, all right, the Japanese, Koreans, all right, the Russians, the Americans, these Edomites, the Europeans, Africans, the whole continent of Africa, you know what I'm saying? The Middle Eastern people, all right, the Arabs, they're all going to be under our subjugation, man. All right, asked about U.S.-Russia relations, she said they are very strained because what the U.S. did was acted on bullshit, man. All right, these Edomites are getting sloppy, man. All right, these Edomites are getting sloppy. Russia knows that the chemical attack was a facade. Russia knows that that chemical attack was a facade and that the U.S. acting on it, bombing Syria over it, and that's a whole bunch of fugazi shit out there, man. You know, they acted upon a facade, man. And these Russians are pissed, man, because these Russians now are seeing the way the United States be operating. Salakia, the way that the United States be operating. All right, because you know, they've been seeing it. All right, they set up a false flag just so they could move in their military, man. All right. At the same time, the U.S. envoy to the UN ruled out any bilateral contacts with the Syrian government, saying that Washington, Salakia, would not have any one-on-one talks with Damascus. On Saturday, Haley said that the U.S. guns are locked and loaded and that Washington will not hesitate to strike if a chemical attack in Syria takes place again, which, you know, who put these chemical attacks out there, man? All right, there were no chemical attacks, man. They could just fucking fake that shit again, and they just do attack again. Now the U.S. has a reason. All right, basically what this did is give the U.S. a reason to keep on attacking Syria, man, with the whole chemical attack facade. And the U.S., man, that's how prideful these fucking Edomites are, man. They think you could just keep on doing their bullshit and think nobody's going to clap back. All right, they think they could just keep on, you know, shooting all these shots and nobody's going to shoot back. Then you just keep on pushing these people, these heathens, to other nations and think they're not going to push back. These Edomites, you know, their pride has deceived them, man. All right, and it's not only Russia. I mean, not only the U.S., man. It's also these fucking the French, the British. All right, the U.S., Russia. I mean, the allies of the U.S., man. All right, who are all nations of Edomites, man. All right, so it's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh, man. So these fucking Edomites, man, you know, with their little space stations, all the bullshit that they're doing in the world, right, they're getting ready to be brought down, you know. So brothers out there, man, hey, rejoice, man, because our salvation is near, man. All right, so, you know, with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, for giving me the spirit to do a video, man. All right, Shalom.